Thank you for watching Scary Animal Attacks.
Welcome back to Scary Animal Attacks. Today's episode takes us to the greatest symbol of the wilds of Africa, Kruger National Park in the nation of South Africa. It consists of nearly 5 million acres and is the largest national reserve in the nation. In the southern regions of the park, there is an area called Crocodile Bridge. This area is a mixed woodland with silver clusterleaf, Kiaat Bloodwood, Bushwillow and Rock Fig trees. Thorn bushes of the area include Acacia, knob, and Brack thorn bushes, providing nearly impenetrable protection for animals seeking it. Fine thatching and yellow thatching grasses screen the animals and fade to yellow during the dry seasons. On April 1, 2019, 5 local men decided to infiltrate the park and seek an endangered black rhino to poach. The goal of the poachers is to find a rhino with at least one of their 2 horns long enough for them to make money when they remove it and sell it on the black market, typically Asian folk medicine markets. Even though it is composed of what amounts to compressed hair known as keratin, its use and possession is considered a status symbol in China. It is ground into a powder and believed by practitioners of traditional Chinese medicine to cure maladies ranging from a cure for fevers to hangovers, even though Western medicine has proven it to have absolutely no health benefits whatsoever. Poachers usually drug the rhino with a dart gun, which must be fired from close range, and then use a machete to hack away the horns and the portion of the face it is attached to, which leads to the rhino bleeding to death. Rhino horn can fetch around $9,000 per pound, and the longest rhino horn ever found was from a white rhino and measured 150 centimeters, or about 5 feet in length. When allowed to grow, the white rhino horn grows about 7 centimeters each year. Given that every rhino species has a great sense of smell but terrible eyesight, poachers simply have to mind the wind, and they can get quite close to them very easily. After arriving in the park, the poachers set out to scout the area for a rhino with a horn large enough for them to earn money on the black market. As they surveyed the area, moving from one small opening in the bush to another, they had caught the attention of a very large and hostile elephant. As the poachers looked ahead of them, a gigantic elephant charged one of the men. As the men panicked, they ran in different directions, but the elephant trampled one of the men, whom we will call CK. As the poachers watched the elephant, they could see CK being crushed under the massive feet of the several-ton pachyderm. It only took a few minutes before CK was motionless, and with that, the elephant's anger seemed to subside, and it slowly ambled away through the brush. The men cautiously approached their friend and could see that he was dead from the crushing footfalls. They collected his corpse and began to carry him toward a nearby road. Their concern was thought to be that they would be cited for attempted poaching, so they devised a plan to keep themselves separate from the investigation into CK's death. After arriving near the road, they placed his corpse in a spot they believed a passerby would find him, and possibly believe he was simply a visitor who was killed by the elephant. The remaining poachers immediately crept back through the bush to their villages. They approached the dead man's family and informed him that he had been stomped to death during the poaching mission. It isn't known if the family believed the story of the other poachers, or if they thought that CK was murdered by them. They ended up taking their questions to the local police and requested help in finding and recovering CK's body for burial. Park rangers sent out foot patrols to search by ground, as well as search the area by aircraft. Their efforts were blunted by the cloak of darkness that nighttime brings. They dedicated themselves to returning the next day to resume the search. On April 4th, the searchers finally found CK's remains. There wasn't very much left of his corpse, as it had apparently been found by a pride of lions, who promptly and nearly completely consumed his remains. The recovery team managed to collect the man's skull and a pair of pants. The lions had consumed the rest of his body. The authorities promptly arrested the rest of the poachers and charged them with being suspected of poaching. Glenn Phillips, who was the managing executive of Kruger Park, stated that entering the park illegally and on foot is not wise and is very dangerous, as this incident proves. He also expressed condolences to CK's family, and that it was hard to see his daughters crying over the passing of their father. There are estimated to be around 20,000 wild rhinos in South Africa, which is more than 80% of the world's population. More than 7,000 rhinos have been hunted, and 1028 poached since 2008. Park officials indicate that in the month of July, 3 men were killed by lions while attempting to poach rhinos there.
Thank you for watching Scary Animal Attacks. If you like this video, please consider hitting that like button and clicking on the bell icon to keep you notified of our latest video releases. Sharing our video links on your social media might help save a life and spread the fun. As a member of our human network, be careful out there, because you don't want to end up on an episode of Scary Animal Attacks.